let's go now to SABC News reporter Ishmeal Modiba, who is in the Free State for us, one of the areas, of course, which we will be watching ahead of the local government elections that are taking place in November this year. Ishmael, you are in Virginia, I understand. Give us a sense of what the people of Virginia are hungry for. Have they come out in their numbers? It doesn't look like it's quite cold out there, so we should be seeing large numbers out in the streets. Are we seeing that?
Yeah, well, in terms of numbers in the street, those numbers are there, but they are not flocking into the voter registration points that have been created. It's people who are going by their ordinary businesses. Some will see that, you assume that this person is going, depending on their dress code, would assume that is going to church, is going to a funeral, or wherever the engagement might be. And others which, draw a very sore point in me when we arrived at TNSN in Masilo. The picture that I saw that still etched in my mind up to so far is of those young people and even older people who were seen around 8 in the morning, but just walking around holding a bottle of alcohol. And that tells you a lot about the kind of environment that they live in and the socio-economic challenges that they are facing. Now, after we have left Masilo, we drove 40 kilometers to Meloding in Virginia, which is 140 northeast of Bloemfontein. Here, the situation is not different as in Masilo. Remember that Meloding, Virginia used to be a hive of activity in those 80s and 60s, 70s and 90s. This area used to be a hive of activity where diamond mining was at its peak. But due to the decline in mining, you can see the deterioration of the town and the lack of jobs that people are fighting for. About 2 months ago, this area falls under the Machabeng municipality. The residents of Henneman, which also falls under Machabeng, they had a blockade of the town for over a month where they were demanding jobs. They were saying that there's a solar plant that was being built in the area, but a number of persons or individuals that have been hired there are people from outside, and they wanted 80, even to 100% of people of Henneman to be employed in that solar plant. And the argument was that there have been other solar plants that have been, built outside their area in Machabeng and in Meloding. They were arguing to say that in those plants, the people from Henneman were not absorbed, and that they also want the same. They want their own people to be absorbed and to be empowered. That shows you the scarcity of jobs in the areas that people are fighting for jobs. People want to have jobs, they want to be empowered. But Griselda, just to come to where we are, it's a totally different picture. We have been to an ABET center in Masilo. We have been in Taiwe Secondary School in TNSN in Masilo, and now we are at Meloding Secondary School. The picture is still the same. The picture is same in the sense that here we are talking about 5 people who came here to register or maybe to credentials if whether they are on the database of the IEC preparing themselves for November local government elections. You go back, I take you back to ABET center where we were in Masilo. Only one person that I encounter. We actually entered that premises the same time. Then we go to Taiwe Secondary. It was only 5 people. So it shows you, and even when the officials that I'm talking to, they say it's still early, but they are hoping that as the day progresses, people will be coming as they would have done with their engagements for the day. And I can tell you that it's scorching hot from where I am. I feel like taking the jacket off because the situation is not as earlier as in the morning. So we are hoping that as the day progresses, a lot of people will come in numbers to check their status. And those that we know that the youngsters, they don't normally like to come to these places. They would prefer to stay home and use the technology to register and even help their elderly parents or guardians who they feel that, you know what, let's use technology to our advantage. So we will still be hanging around here just to monitor and see if things changes. But the indications are that a lot of people have done their job with their first voter registration, and this is just to give those who didn't have a chance to make their information recorded so that they won't be left behind as that important date come in November, so that they will be able to make their mark. But the situation here is fairly quiet. People are just going about doing their activity on a Saturday morning.